One of the most powerful tools for persuasion is to support people in their fears. It doesn't matter if you are a leader or you're in sales, anything where you have to guide people. The concern is you have to start with you. And if you're trying to support people with their fears, but you have a lot of rational or irrational fears yourself, you cannot be authentic. So, the buck stops here. It stops with you. So that's step number one. Is my fear rational or is it irrational? Let me define it for you. Rational fears are legitimate concerns. For a lot of people in the modern world, it's a health problem. It could be mental health or physical health, or they fear for their safety, or they fear that there's something about the political environment and the culture that makes them feel unsafe or unsupported. You as the leader can have a huge difference, huge impact on helping people get the support they need for their rational fears. Of course, you have to begin with your rational fears. The other thing I want to talk about is the irrational fears. Now, what are they? In modern language, it would be anxiety, someone who's chronically worried. Now, believe it or not, some of the great leaders in history have been very anxious, worried people, and it actually distracts them. I think it's the number one cause of procrastination that stops people from fulfilling their dreams. That's right, this irrational fear or anxiety. Now, the way I look at it and my team looks at it is that it means that you're not living in the present moment. In other words, you're rehashing disappointments or perceived failures from the past. Instead of learning from them, you have this anxiety that you're going to recreate that disappointment. This is both in your professional life and in your personal life. The way we cope with this is getting people grounded, and I mean really energy down in their legs. What we use is bioenergetic exercises. They're really simple. Person can even use them at the office if they need to. The second thing is breathing exercises. Breath is so important because when people are anxious, their breathing is shallow. It gets stuck in the diaphragm. And so we teach them these exercises that are really powerful. Another way is to help balance the energy system, balance the meridians, is with EFT or tapping. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's very simple and very powerful. Okay, there's other tools for living in the present moment, but I think that's the number one antidote to dealing with your anxiety or irrational fears, to stay totally focused and present in this moment. Then you'll have a much less of a tendency to procrastinate. You'll be willing to step out and just see what happens, to explore the unknown a little bit more. So this is such an empowerment tool. In the research on human fears, public speaking is rated over death. So what does that really mean? Well, people have more fears about life than the end of their life. So it's such a critical thing to deal with, first for yourself, and then for those that you support or your client base or whoever that might be. Wow, can you imagine that? One of the biggest needs that people have, and this is at all stages of life. People have, high school students have different fears than people in their 30s, 40s, and then older people have a different type of fear at different stages of life. So you as the leader need to get that in order for yourself, and then if you do it for others, it will take your ability to persuade to a whole new level.